You might have thought about leaving 1,000 times. You might have imagined what it'd feel like to finally be free from the guy that you're with. Be free from the chaos, the manipulation, the constant push and pull that keeps you trapped in this toxic cycle, in this relationship. You thought about walking out the door, but you're still here. You're still inside this relationship, you still feel trapped and you still feel stuck. You tell yourself, you'll go when the time is right. Maybe when you get stronger, maybe when you figure out the right plan and the right aspect, maybe when you have the perfect plan lined up. You've told yourself multiple times that you'll leave when you're absolutely sure, but deep down you already know the truth. You already know the reality, but you're not willing to actually see it. There's never going to be a perfect time to leave this guy. There's never going to be a perfect time to get a divorce. There's never going to be a perfect time to get a separation. There's never going to be a perfect time. Because this walking away piece isn't just about leaving him. It's about leaving the version of you that you built that was around him. That you built around the abuse, that you built around the trauma. And that is the piece that feels impossible. Not just leaving. You're like, yeah, he's toxic. Let me leave. Okay, but who would you be then? What would life actually look like? There's psychological chains that end up leaving you trapped, that leave you stuck inside the toxic relationship. Let's talk about this really clear. If it were just about love, you would have probably left already. Like if this was just about logic, you wouldn't even be here questioning yourself every time. Every time he does something that shatters you, every time he does something to destroy you, you're left questioning who you are. You're left questioning yourself over and over and over again. It's not about love. It's not about logic. This isn't just about him. It's about how he's wired your brain to actually think. How he's conditioned you to actually believe that it's impossible to function without him. And that's what leaves you trapped. There's a couple of fears that we need to talk about. There's the fear of the unknown. What's going to happen? You spent so long inside of this relationship that the idea of leaving and the idea of living without him feels foreign, feels weird, feels awkward. Even the aspect of having a relationship, having a life outside of the chaos and actually living in peace feels weird. You're like, I don't know what this would even look like. And even if the guy that you're with, even if your husband makes you feel miserable, even if he seems like he's sucking and draining the life out of you, well, at least you know what to expect. But if you leave him and you go out, you're like, I don't know what to expect then. I don't know what's going to happen. And there's this fear of the unknown, a fear of like, what's going to happen? How am I going to do this? Starting over? Like that feels terrifying because I have no clue. What if I can't do it? What if it's not for me? What if I can't make the money? What if I can't provide? What if I fail? What if leaving him only makes a worse feeling even worse? There's fear. And there's also the trauma bond. The trauma bond is this like mental and emotional addiction that every time he hurts you, every time he breaks your trust, he follows it up with just enough love to keep you holding on, to keep you stuck just a little bit longer. It's not an accident. You keep thinking, oh, it's an accident. He forgot this time. It's not an accident. The psychological conditioning. That's something that he's used to. He's something that he's trained you to get used to for a long period of time. Your brain has been trained to crave the highs and to tolerate the lows. To believe that love and pain have to coexist together for you to be in a relationship with this guy. And as a result, it's screwed up all of your relationship ideas and thoughts. And it's given you this piece of hope. The false hope that he's actually going to change. This false hope of believing and thinking, maybe it's going to get better. Maybe it'll work this way. And as a result, you keep waiting. Not just waiting about leaving, you're waiting for the moment that he gets it, that the light bulb comes on. He's like, he finally understands it. He wakes up, he sees my worth, he turns into the man that I knew he always could be, and poof, fairy tale once again. But the problem is, that's not real. It's not reality. Because at this point, how long have you waited? How many times have you waited for that moment? How many years have you been telling yourself that it's going to get better and it still hasn't? How many times have you convinced yourself, this time it's different? This time will be the day that it's actually changed. This time he'll actually mean it. This time he won't go out and cheat. This time he'll actually tell me the truth. But it's not different, and it hasn't been different. Because you keep staying longer, and the longer you stay, the more of yourself you lose. Waiting, hoping, praying for a version of him that does not exist. But you keep thinking and hoping maybe it might. Let's talk about the truth about leaving. Leaving isn't just about waiting. It's not about waiting until you stop loving him. It's like, well, once I fall out of love, then I'll leave. It's about realizing that loving him isn't enough. It's not going to change him. It's not going to make him do anything different. Your love for him, actually, he doesn't care about. It's recognizing that no matter how much you give, no matter how much time you give him, no matter how much you spend, no matter how much you sacrifice, no matter what, he will never be the partner that you deserve. Because he keeps treating you this way. He keeps acting this way. He keeps beating you down. You need to understand that it's about you understanding that you don't need more proof that he won't change. You don't need to keep having stores and stores of evidence of, yep, won't change, won't change, won't change. You need to believe the proof that you already have, that's already in front of your face. The years of repeated behavior, the years of the lies, the years of the abuse, the years of the cheating. You have to be able to see this, because if you don't look at the facts, the evidence, the demonstration, you stay stuck. Like, write it down. Take out a piece of paper and write down 25 things that this guy's done to you. 25 things of how your marriage has been ruined in like a shit show. Write it down. And when you look at it, be like, whoa, I didn't realize that all this stuff happened. I didn't realize how much he abused me. I didn't realize, yeah. Because you're telling yourself that it's not that big of a deal. Like, you have to be able to see the evidence and see the facts to start reclaiming who you are. Part of that is like reclaiming your power. Because every single day that you stay, you lose. You're making a choice, whether you realize it or not. It's not like, well, I'll wait a little bit longer. No, you're making a choice. And as a result, you lose more of you. There's pieces of you that get picked off every single day. So you get pieces of you that start to fall away, that has been chipping at you over and over and over. It's time to walk away. Now that's going to feel impossible. And you might just shut off the video right now. But consider a couple things. One, you need to stop rationalizing his behavior. Because every time you make up an excuse for him, every time you tell yourself, he didn't mean it, or he's just going through a rough time. No, wake up. You're reinforcing this lie. You're telling yourself a lie. You're reinforcing the lie that his actions are acceptable. You're saying it's not that big of a deal. His actions are okay. They're not. Stop rationalizing it. Wake up. You probably have to get to a place that you leave. You separate, that you cut off contact. You have to be able to have some distance and a buffer. We've talked about not just to check in, not just to get closure. Cut him off. Because as long as he has access, as long as he has space to be able to connect and interact with you, he still has control over you. He still has leverage over you. He still has a way to open up the door and walk back into your life and be like, hey. You just surround yourself with people who actually get it and keep you accountable. Because if not, the one day that you're weak, you'll go back. Instead of phoning a friend, instead of having somebody that's there to be able to help you. I get it. You're going to have moments of weakness. That's okay. Going back to him, that's not okay. You're going to have days that you want to go back, okay? Write down that list. Look at your list. 25 things that he did to you. 50 things that he did to you. Like, you need to be reminded, and you might need to bring people in your life to remind you of why you left. They're going to hold you accountable to the decision. That, like, deep down you're like, I'm struggling today. My head and my heart, they're not connected. One wants to go back, one wants to stay. I don't get it. You need other people that are going to hold you accountable and help you move forward. That's why I created the Thriver community. Because I know how hard it is to walk away when every fiber of your being is telling you just to hold on just a little bit longer. Just wait. Maybe something will happen. Maybe something will change. Can I tell you something about what I do? I am not in the business of making or breaking your relationship. I don't care. What I care about is you getting clear. What I care about is you finding healing. What I care about is you standing in confidence and certainty and knowing who you are. Being able to see and understand your God-given talent and ability to be on this planet, to grow, to produce, to overcome the challenges that you're currently in. But right now, if you don't wake up, you'll miss it. The opportunity for you to actually heal, and grow, and develop who you are. You need people that are going to hold you accountable. You need people that actually have been where you are. People that actually see and understand the reality of what you're going through. The reality of what is happening when you're too lost in the fog to figure it out. People that are going to remind you and wake you up to the strength that you actually have. Wake you up to the things that you've forgotten about yourself. And re-find who you are. We talk sometimes about rebuilding your identity. Building back who you are. Rediscovering you. Because you've been in a place where he spent a very long time making sure that you didn't see your own worth or see your own value. Making sure you didn't trust yourself, making sure you didn't rely on anything, making sure that you didn't define anything, that you only looked at your life through his eyes. You only saw what he wanted you to see, that you weren't good enough, that you weren't special, that you weren't worth it. That ends now. Because you're not just a broken version of yourself that he convinced you that you were. You're more than that. You're capable. And you're worthy. You're worthy of a life that's bigger than the one right now that's small. That's suffocating. The world that he's kept you trapped in for such a long period of time. Is this you? Do you see yourself inside of this video? Do you see yourself inside of what I've talked about today? You've been told it's all your fault and that makes you feel crazy. No one understands you and that leaves you in a place of being alone. You've tried to break free multiple times and that leaves you helpless because nothing you've done has actually worked. It hasn't actually got you free or liberated from this toxic relationship. So you feel crazy, alone, and hopeless. Guess what? That's a lie. Because all it is how you've been raised and conditioned inside of this abusive relationship over and over. And as a result, you've sacrificed your growth, you've sacrificed your worth, and you've been trapped inside of a toxic relationship. What if I showed you the path to freedom? A way for you to actually get free mentally and emotionally from the toxicity that's happening right here, right now. You deserve more. You deserve to be able to heal. And I want to help you with that. If I can help you with that, go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. Schedule a call there and let's talk. If you're at this place where you're done living in this cycle, if you're ready to stop questioning yourself, if you're ready to actually finally take back the life that he stole from you, to show up as a woman that you're actually called to be, then this is where you start. If you see this inside of you, then I want you to go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. Watch the video between myself and my wife and other clients that are on there. Click on the application, fill it out, grab a free call, jump on a call with me and let's talk. How you can actually rebuild and find yourself again. Because walking away is never going to feel easy at all. But staying is going to destroy you. One of the best quotes in this aspect that my wife has come up with is the simple piece of just choose your hard. It's going to be hard to stay. It's going to be hard to leave. Which one long term is going to be harder for you?